Are you kind of lean, but your lower abs still kind of stick out? This is actually called a pooch belly or a paunch belly. This can be present for a lot of reasons. Maybe you have a little bit of extra fat and that's where you carry it. It could be that you have some gut issues, or it could be that you have some type of pathology. But there is one other influence, and that influence is movement. In fact, according to this study right here, altered co-contraction between the pelvic floor and the lower abs can cause the lower abs to bulge out. This is actually the abdominal contents moved forward. There's something you can do with that, and you can influence it through exercise. Let's go through a sequence together that I've used with a lot of clients to address this problem today. We have 4 exercises, and this first move is a foam roller oblique sit decompression. What you're gonna do is you're going to fold over the foam roller, making sure it's on the middle third of the rib cage. Arm is overhead. You're gonna silently breathe in through the nose. On the exhale, you wanna think about melting into the foam roller and gently reaching the arm towards the wall. I would make sure you're rotated more over the foam roller than I am currently. You want your chest to be parallel to the wall. And then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Think silently, breathe in through the nose. On the exhale, you're gonna melt gently into the foam roller, making sure that the inhale is quiet and the exhale is slow. You're not trying to get all the air out, because if you get all the air out, you're gonna end up recruiting the upper abs, and that will reinforce the pooch belly. Take a 10-second break, and then we're gonna do one of my favorite moves, frog breathing. This move is great because with the hips being a little higher than the torso, you allow gravity to move the abdominal contents up. Knees a little wider than your hips, feet will be together, hands touching, elbows a little wider than shoulders. Silently breathe in through the nose. On the exhale, you're gonna get heavy through the wiggly bone on your wrist called the pisiform and the elbow. That's gonna push your torso away. You want to maintain this heaviness through those points. Quietly breathe in through your nose, and then just make sure that exhale is soft, slow, and easy. You'll start to feel your abs work a little bit. You just don't want to be excessive because you can end up crunching. Next, we're going to incorporate these elements in standing with a walking wall squat. This one, you'll notice the back of your legs working if you get it right. 2 feet away from the wall, hands on the wall. Imagine you got suction cups on them. You're gonna let the knees bend, walk down the wall, and imagine you're sitting in a chair just outside of your base of support. Silently breathe in through the nose. On the exhale, gently push the wall away. Make sure that you're staying heavy on the heels. You don't want your knees to straighten out. If you do that, you're gonna end up rounding through your back. That's gonna limit improving the mobility needed to reduce the pooch belly. This one is a pooch belly slobber knocker, the downward dog on elbows. This magnifies the gravitational effect, pushing the guts upward so that way they don't sit as low. Get on your forearms, stay heavy through the wiggle bone on the wrist and the elbow, silently breathe in, exhale, and get heavy through those points. From here, you're gonna shoot the hips up and back. Think about aiming your rear to the corner between the wall and the ceiling. Hold this position, silently breathe in through the nose, and slowly exhale through the mouth. If it feels really forearm heavy, think about aiming your rear more towards the wall. Make sure you don't crunch in this move. You want to be really slow and chill as you get into position. And that's the first round. We're going to go into the second round. Same cues. Foam roller will be on the middle third of the rib cage. Silently breathe in through the nose. During the exhale, you're going to just melt into the foam roller and gently reach your arm towards the wall. Roll the torso forward so your chest is parallel into the wall. Silent inhale, soft, slow exhale. Switch sides and perform the same actions. Silently breathe in through your nose, not full, not forced. Exhale and melt into the foam roller. You don't want to overreach on this. You don't really want to push anything to end range. That will produce tension, and it's going to limit the amount of motion that you'll gain. We're gonna go froggy style, hitting up the frog breathing. Let's go. Knees wider than hips, feet together, hands together, elbows wider than shoulders. You wanna make sure your hips are a little ahead of your knees with this one. Silent inhale. Exhale, you're gonna get heavy through those forearm points. Remember, it's the wiggle bone on the wrist and the base of the elbow. Maintain that position. Don't crunch. Quiet nasal inhales and then a soft exhale through the mouth. You'll feel the abs working just a little bit. You don't want this to be excessive, because if it's excessive, you're gonna end up crunching. That's gonna reinforce the pooch belly. We wanna limit that. Take your 10-second rest before you get wild and crazy with the walking wall squat. Remember to stay heel heavy on this, and then when you're doing it, you only move if your arms move. Sit in that chair that's just out of your reach, but remember, you got suction cups on your hands. Make sure your eyes stay looking at the wall, because if you look down, you're gonna end up rounding, and that's going to reinforce the pooch belly. Silently breathe in through your nose. On the exhale, you're gonna push the wall away just a little bit, reinforcing being heavy on the heels. If your legs are cooking, then my heart is warm. And now we got the mother of pooch belly eliminators, the downward dog on elbows. Are you ready for this? Make sure you're not crunching as you do it, folks. Remember to be on your forearms. Weight's going to be on the wiggle bone on the wrist and the elbow. Silent in. You're going to exhale and get heavy on those points. Aim your rear towards the corner between the ceiling and the wall, and hold on for dear life. Make sure your neck stays relaxed in this. If you need help with that, I would think about looking towards your knees. Silent in through the nose, soft exhale, and do that for the remainder of this exercise. Now for the third round. You got this. You are almost done. Back to the foam roller. Remember, you want it on the middle third of the ribs. Silent in. On the exhale, you're going to melt down into the foam roller and reach. If it's getting a little uncomfortable because you've done a few rounds of this, you can put a pillow over the foam roller. That will make it a little bit more comfortable. Switch sides, same song and dance. Silently breathe in through that nose, and then during your exhale, you're gonna melt into the foam roller and gently, I'm talking 2 out of 10 effort, folks, reach for the wall with your top arm. And we're going back to frog breathing. Remember, you should feel your abs working just a little bit as you progress through this movement. Knees wider than hips, feet together, hands together, elbows a little bit wider than your torso. Silent in through the nose. Exhale, get heavy through those points on the forearm and maintain, and then just let it breathe. Quiet nasal inhale, and then a soft exhale through the mouth. Let's stand on up and do the walking wall squat so we can incorporate the strategies we've worked on with the first exercises in a standing position. Remember, 2 feet away, hands on the wall, eyes looking at the wall. Go ahead and walk down, trying to sit in that chair that's just out of reach. Did your hands move? I certainly hope so. Silently breathe in through the nose. On the exhale, you're going to gently, not all the way, push the wall and get heavy on the heels. Your knees should not move. If your knees straightened, guess what? You're not loading into the hips as much. You're moving through your back. That's going to reinforce the pooch belly, and we most certainly do not want that. Can you believe it? You've done so freaking good. I'm juiced up about it. Downward dog on elbows. Let's finish this one strong. Remember, you want to be on your forearms. Wiggle bone and the elbow are your weight-bearing points. Silently breathe in. Go ahead and exhale and get heavy on them. Raise up. Get that rear pointing towards the corner between the wall and the ceiling. Make sure your neck stays nice and relaxed. You're going to silently breathe in through the nose and then exhale soft and slow, staying heavy on the forearm. Now, if you're someone who has lower ribs that stick out, called a rib flare, I actually did an exercise sequence just like this for that issue right there. If you go ahead and click the link and watch the video, you can also improve your motion that way.